people's pocket, not even in their face. Imagine how you would feel if you donated to a charity in your local community and then you found out that your charity was a scam. You would go after every single person you could to get that money back. You would go the legal way. You would jump on board with whoever was doing a lawsuit or whatever, right? Because we're all fucking hurting for our meals. Some of us don't know what we're going to eat for dinner the next day or how we're going to feed our kids or our dogs. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but I got no sympathy when you're scamming
I'm
people.
not asking for sympathy,
Right, and I'm not saying you are.
I'm not asking. I'm not asking anybody for sympathy.
Right,
Y'all,
and I'm not saying
y'all
you are.
understand
So where
that
did
I
the
didn't.
money go? Where did the money go?
I donated it to someone that was struggling with their 4 kids for Christmas.
Is there proof with that
Yes.
without outing the family?
Yes,
Can you show it?
I have it on my Cash App.
Okay, show the green screen.
I don't. I gotta go and take a screenshot of it.
Okay, go take a screenshot. We do this all the time. We
Oh, Holly
screenshot.
Mae, I'll send you. I'll send
I
you.
don't need it to be sent privately, Shannon. You know I don't do that with you dirty
But I'm
bitches.
not. I'm not. I'm not posting. Do you? I had to reactivate this page. All my pages are gone.
Who is Mike G? It's
All my
Mike G.
pages are gone.
That's fine, but your Cash App I'm talking about. I get some of your pages are gone.
And like I said,
Mine was hacked. I get it.
with the money that I sent him, with the money that people that donated, because some people sent through Venmo, some people sent through Cash App.
So
All I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna make it right.
did you send the money to Mike G for a family of 4? Is that who received the remainder of Andrew's money? Shannon, did we have a TikTok glitch or something? Did you hear me?
No, I'm reading the comments. Give me a second.
I think they're asking the same question I am.
No, nothing funded a vacation. Nothing funded that.
No, they didn't say the vacation. They said that the
And
remainder went to Mike G.
and yes, I helped his kids for Christmas.
So it was.
Yes.
So is he gonna Cash App you the money to
Now,
send to Andrew, or what's going on?
I will say that he didn't know. He didn't know until I had told Pam and Stacky.
Girl, I would not start a relationship off with lies, girl.
Well,
Or
it wasn't. It
holding.
wasn't that. It wasn't that. Um, I just know that I'm going to make it right, and that's all that I can do. And
I
that's
know you keep saying that. You keep saying
and
that.
but Holly Mae, after this live, and I'm just going to be completely honest, after this live, I'm not going to be seen on TikTok again.
Oh, girl, listen, Shannon, I
No,
have a whole collage of you saying that shit.
no, no. As far as me going live, as far as me going into boxes, Holly Mae, I haven't been live in almost 3 weeks. I haven't been on. I haven't been on any of this.
Well, I mean,
I've
I
actually
did
been
the shit you
talking.
did. I wouldn't have been on the
I've,
app either.
I've been actually talking to people on another, not on another on like Facebook Messenger and stuff. So I haven't been, like I said, on live. I haven't been going into boxes. I've been staying away from TikTok. All I know is that because of me, no one else, because of me, Shannon, because of my actions, because of who I am, I've lost really good people in my life.
And you also put
And
trauma on a child and took money out of people's pockets.
it's nobody else's fault but my own. I understand that. And I realize that. And that's something that I have to live with. And that's something I'm going to have to just deal with. I'm going to make it right with Andrew. I am sorry to everyone. I wish I could go back and do it all different. I wish I could have just never been on TikTok in the first place. Okay? I am trying to make it right. I'm going to make it right. And that's all I can do. That's all I can do. I just know that I'm going to get my life together, get myself together, get myself in a better headspace and a head place in my life. I am 43 years old. I've literally have not only lost friends, I literally had to walk away from a lot of my own life, my own personal life, and I'm not going to get into that. And I really don't care what anybody's saying in these comments right now. You can think whatever you want about me.
I mean, I think they think what they seen of you. Putting
But
children or putting a child through a traumatic situation because you were mad at her mom. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I
Scamming people out of their fucking money under the disguise of Andrew. Like, that's not okay.
I will
And you
say
did.
that I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
I've made mistakes. I've made huge mistakes. Things that I wish I could change and things I wish that would have never happened, but they have.
Right. So just send Andrew the money right now while we're on live. Because once you get off this live, either you're going to do two things. One, go back to your private lives. Or two, you're going to crash out later on drunk as hell. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is
Well,
what it
Holly
is.
Mae, I do respectfully for you to say that. No, you don't.
Oh, I get how it is. Girl,
If
listen.
I've wanted to crash out, I would have done that, within the 3 weeks, but I haven't.
Well, listen, life is life and
Some people say that they, I wanted to step away, but I am doing it. And I have been doing it for over 3 weeks.
and that's good for you, but you still never answered my question. What made you come on today to talk about the Andrew Fund? Because it's just coincidental that,
It's not coincidental, Holly Mae.
well, they were just
I
talking about
was
it on Ashley's live. That's
like
on
I said
Mama's
yesterday, which
TikTok.
Holly Mae, respectfully, you're in my box
And,
and you're not going to overtalk me.
girl, you know how I am. I do it to everybody.
Well, I don't care. I didn't come on here to have you coming over here and give me the 10th degree.
I'm not, but I'm also not
I
going
said
to
I was going to make it right,
settle.
and I'm not going to address everything I've ever done on this app, Holly Mae. I'm not.
I'm not asking you to.
And, well, you are.
No,
With
I'm
over
not.
332 people in here, and I'm sure once it's all said and done, you guys are going to hold another live
Girl,
or
no, I'm not.
whatever. It doesn't matter. I know that I've made mistakes. I'm woman enough to come on here and own my shit. Whether or not I should have owned it in January, whether I should have owned it in that fucking moment, I'm fucking owning it.
Right, but you're like brushing off under the rug that you bashed him, you dragged him, you lied on him, you made him, you spoke about him as if he was less than a fucking human. He was a
No,
scammer.
it wasn't less than a human.
That's how you spoke about him, whether it was on your
But
page
the
or a
truth,
troll page.
but the truth is, there's a lot of things that happened before any of y'all came into the picture. There was a lot of conversations that were held before any of y'all came into the picture. And I think it's great that he has a group of people. I think it's great that he has a support system.
Oh, he does
Yes.
from all
I
sides.
heard that he's no longer on hospice. I know that I'm happy for him. I wish him well in life. I hope he lives a long, happy life. I just know that I want to make it right, and I'm going to make it right.
So then make it right
And I
right now
will.
while we're on live, so it don't got to be dragged out more and more. You saying you're going to get off the app, and then us going live and asking Andrew, "Hey, did you get paid yet?" Then that sparks up you going live and say, "See, they're talking about me again," when that's not really the
It's
case.
not. It's not about that.
Yeah, Andrew's in the chat. I don't know if he's in the request though.
I see he's on there. I have just relocated. I got here yesterday. Privy to what you guys think that I have all this money and I have all of this and that. I do not.
I'm gonna tell you something. My mom told me a long time ago: never give it away for free, girl. If that's your man can pay your debt.
But I will tell you, my entire life, I've always had to figure it out on my own and do it on my own since I was 18. And I'm doing it again for myself. I didn't have to come on here live. I could have just ignored it and I could not have addressed it and I could have just gone off the grid and never been seen or heard from again. But while I was driving yesterday and I had a lot of things to think about, this was one of them. Because of me, I lost a lot of good people in my life.
Do you miss them people? Because you keep bringing them up.
And no matter what it is I do to fix it and to make it right, I know that the damage is already done.
Sensitive salad. Listen, if I were you, I wouldn't be talking nothing about no drama or trauma dumping or nothing like that when you be in boxes with just as much wild shit that Shannon does. Okay, let's not do that. Again, when it comes to Andrew, he ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
No,
not going on the back end trying to mess with you, trying to create havoc in your life. None of that. So just pay him so that way you guys can move. It can be done. Andrew never has to come out of your mouth again.
And I'm not here to bash Andrew. I'm here to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's never even jumped up and defended himself other than saying, I've never done anything to
So
Shannon.
what it all boils down to is I'm sorry. I'm not here to fight, argue, none of it. I'm here to say I'm sorry. I am sorry who I have allowed myself to become. I have become the worst version of myself. And I can admit that to myself. And before all this went down, I loved Andrew and I cared about him. And I do still care about him. And I'm glad he's got a lot of people that support him.
He does from all sides. But again, nobody's in here attacking you, Shannon. I'm watching the comments just as hard as you are. Nobody's attacking you. Everybody feels some type of way because you used him as a mask. That's how it's coming out. And It seems very much so. The only reason why you're live right now speaking on it is because people started to show proof or whatever. It's on Drama Talk.
No,
If you look on the Drama Talk,
I,
you'll see
Holly
Smash Hits
Mae,
Live was talking
Holly
about
Mae,
it.
I'm not on it.
Well, I'm telling you.
I'm on it because of all of it. I've lost some really good people in my life, and none of it's been worth it. None of it. None of it.
Well, I would hope that TikTok wouldn't be worth putting trauma on a child, but I mean, I'm always going to bring that up because I think that's fucked up. I really do. I don't care. I'm that's something I'm forever going to speak on when it comes to children. You, Mikey, um, all of y'all who fucking use CPS and stuff because you don't like the parent is wild to me. It is wild to me.
And once again, I can't take back what I've done.
No, but you better pray to the Lord Jesus above you that that baby is not traumatized for the rest of her life over it.
So I just know that I'm going to.
Is Andrew trying to get up? Because everybody's saying let him up. Is he
I
in
don't
there?
know. I have a full list, Holly.
Well, let people up. I mean, you want to hear from people?
No, I don't want to just hear from people.
Well, Andrew should be above even me, to be honest.
Well, he wasn't requesting a box.
Oh,
So I'm going to respectfully drop you.
no, that's fine.
I will have a conversation with Andrew. And I will say that if you can't be respectful in the comments, I'll just turn the comments off. So I would appreciate if you would allow me and Andrew to have a conversation. So if you can't keep it respectful in the comments, I will turn the comments off.
I told myself I was never going to talk to you ever again,
I understand. I have a quick question,
and I
Andrew.
missed it. But I have 50, 60 people in my DMs asking me to come up. So out of
Okay.
respect for them, out of respect for
Right.
them only, I'm here.
Right. Um, CJ has asked to come up in here to sit with you. Are you okay with me
Yeah,
allowing her up?
yeah, she's good.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
I'll just sit here.
All right.
Look,
So,
you thought something happened when it didn't happen, and instead of talking to me, you decided to go live and dog walk my ass all over the place, over and over, without even having a simple conversation from the
and
very beginning. From the very beginning, because
and
somebody sent you a screenshot of me and Petty's live. They didn't send you a video of me going in and out of that live. They sent you a video, a clip of me making a comment to Smash.
correct. Um,
And you thought that I was in there while they were green screening you and everything else, and I didn't stick up for you. When you can ask Petty, you can ask CJ here. Every time I was in that live before that, and they would talk about you, I would ask them to not. I stuck up for you more than you'd ever known about. And for you to not even have a conversation with me and to dog walk my ass all over this app,
So,
over and over, and I never, not once did I clap back. I was asked a few questions and I answered the truth to those questions. I have never lied about anything.
okay, Andrew, I am sorry.
Okay. I was warned about you so many
You
times
need to
before,
you need to
before, and
understand. You need to understand when everything went down the way that it went down. You know that there was a group of us, right?
yeah, and you turned them all against me first, quite the
And
time.
but I will say that I had questions, they had questions. It all got
But
handled wrong.
instead of asking questions, you decided to dog walk me.
It all went wrong, Andrew. All of it.
Yeah,
It did.
and you know you did wrong because you knew I had a cash app the whole time.
I didn't, Andrew.
Stacky, stop, yes you do. Because it was me, Stacky, and Crystal in that live, and you directly told me to take my cash app down because it was a bad look being with you. You can ask
But
Stacky. She even knows about it. That was your
she
best friend, right?
she
Was she your best friend?
she knows about it, Andrew. She knows about the Cash App when Pam tried to
Yeah, but
buy the blanket from you.
no, she knew about it because you told me to take my cash app out of my bio. She knew about it then, but you decided to come on here and spread a big old lie. Let's even lie even more. Let's say that he doesn't have a second account when you said you didn't know. Wait a minute, the messages in my phone show that you didn't know about my second account. All you did was spread lies after lies and after lies. But thankfully, everybody knows you, knows how you were, and knew that I wasn't lying. I've never lied a day in my life. I'm 43 years old and I have no reason to lie. I don't get nothing out of life by lying.
But I want to make something clear, Andrew. I never called anybody pretending to be your parents. I never called anybody from your facility asking if you were on hospice. The only thing that Pam and I did was try to see if we could get a hold of somebody to see how easy it would to get a hold of somebody. And
And
we
you
were
did that
able
not
to,
once, but you did that not once, but you did that twice. And I didn't know about that. You didn't even tell me you did that until after I found out.
but it
Therefore,
wasn't,
how can I believe you? How can
but
you did it
Andrew,
twice?
it
If you,
wasn't that phone call was not to check on you or to find out anything about you.
I called to see if I was a liar or not.
It wasn't even called. Nobody spoke to anybody, Andrew.
I'm aware of that. I
We
know
weren't
that.
able to get a hold of anybody.
I'm aware of that.
So you have to understand,
And I told you the
because
reason
when
why you
I,
didn't
like I
talk to
said,
nobody.
when you initially messaged everybody and I was going
Yeah.
to work.
What time was that? What time was that? That was in the middle of the day, right?
I
Yeah, it
believe
was
it
in the middle of
was
the day. It was around noon my
no,
time. It was around noon my time.
because you were in Petty's
It was
box that
around. It was around noon my time.
because I had to go to work. And I do believe that you were in Petty's box that day. I can't remember what you were talking about.
Yes, I
And
was.
then you had dropped out of the box,
Yep.
and then you had sent a message and said that somebody called the facility pretending to be your parents.
Yep. That was around noon my time, California
So
time.
I was headed to work. Then I got the message that somebody called pretending to be your parents.
Yeah.
And I thought to
They
myself,
they called pretend to be my mother,
I said, how, who, whatever.
and I haven't had a relationship with my mother in over 20 years. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have parents, and I've always said that.
So, like I said, when all that happened, you dropped out of the box. Then it was like 10 or so minutes later, whatever, you
It
let
was
everyone
actually
know.
16 minutes. It was actually 18 minutes to be
Right.
honest on the dot.
So,
And you can even ask about that. You said that how could they call because there's so many facilities here. When Mike G, Crystal, I was on a messenger call with Crystal, Mike G, and Jason. They all advised me that I should take my location off of my post because all my posts before that had all of my location on all over it where I was located at my facility. So after I took their advisement, I went in through all of my posts and removed all of my location from all of my posts. That's why they all started saying Los Angeles. They all said Disneyland or they said Hollywood Hills. But because you didn't see it on there no longer and didn't know that I have a conversation with other people, I actually think Pam was on that phone call as well. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. You don't know.
So,
But all I did was tell lies, right?
all I'm going to say, Andrew, is that after some of us had talked about it, we were like, how? Now, seeing how everything has happened and people locating people and finding people,
Yeah.
um,
What if something would have happened? What if something
every,
would have happened, Shannon?
every, as far as anybody calling anybody to ask questions about their health or whether they're on hospice or whatever the case may be when everything went down. I don't know. I don't know who did it. I don't know why they did it. I just know that through it all, Andrew, all of it, I should have done it. I should have handled it better.
But
And
I
I
never
am
gave you
sorry.
permission
And
to
I
call
am
my
sorry.
facility. Did I ever give you permission to call my facility?
I do believe
Did I give you permission to call my facility?
when you were really sick
Yeah.
in December, and um, I had said, if anything happens to you, um, can I give you, my information so somebody could let me know, whatever.
Yes.
Um,
But that's different. Did I give you permission to call my facility?
I didn't. I as far as calling your facility, no. It was more as if anything happened to
That's
you,
all.
they
That's
would
all.
contact
That's
me.
all I needed. That's all I needed. Thank you. Listen, guys, I appreciate the gifts. You guys are really. I love you guys so much. But you guys do not need to at all. I appreciate it very much, and I'm very grateful. But you do not need to.
I just know that I am sorry for everything.
Now, if Smash wouldn't have gotten this information and had the live night before last, would this even be happening?
Um, I've been really trying to figure out, Andrew, how I wanted to handle it.
So it wouldn't
When
happen
I
because
when I
you
had
were already
had
off the app. You were already off the app.
correct, and I had had a conversation, like I said, with Pam and Stacky about 3 weeks ago. Um, nobody, Andrew, nobody knew anything.
And I need you to do something for me. Will you tell the chat and everybody that's listening, the 400 people that are listening, that you never gave me not one person, you never told me or gave me one person who donated? Did you tell me anybody who donated?
I thought I told you that on a video call.
No, we never had a video call. I have all the messages and all the call logs. There was never a video message.
And I will tell you that as far as everyone donating on my half, the one person I said that didn't donate was Crystal.
Yeah, I have that message. That's the message I have. He said she's the one that did not donate, but everybody else did. So tell me this: if I made a post and you wanted me to make sure that everybody knew that way, they would be off your ass, correct?
Well, that's why
You asked me to make a post so everybody
right.
would be off your ass.
And
So
that's what
that's why I tagged most of the petty people and some of the ones that were on your side. Not all of them, because like I said, I did not know who donated. So that's why I tagged a lot of petty people. That way they would get off your ass like you asked me to.
but
But
what
yet,
I was but what I was
but
saying is
hang on. But yet you dog walked me and told me that and said that I thanked all of them, but I couldn't thank the ones that actually donated. No, you said that in your live.
well, as far as the video goes, I when I told you about the donations, just for you to say thank you for everyone that donated. And then when you had
And I did that.
tagged, right. But then when you had tagged, and I don't know if, the people that donated were offended that they didn't get tagged. I
Exactly.
should
But how
have,
was I supposed to know?
but like I said, there were
Like I
some
said,
people that,
how
there
was I
were,
supposed to
yeah,
know?
there were some people that donated that wanted to remain anonymous because of the fact that I was getting shit for raising money
You're
from you.
walking around the questions.
So, as far as Andrew making the video, I should have made it more clear to Andrew. Um, like I said, there are some people that did donate that wanted to remain anonymous.
Because trust me,
Um,
if I would have known, I would have tagged them and I would have gave them a personal message to them and thanked them personally. And I think everybody here knows that of me,
and
that
like
I
I
am that
said,
type of person.
when
But
Andrew,
you dog walked me and made it look like I was this trashy person just out to get a fucking dime. When actually, in fact, whenever you said you were going to do this, I told you, do not. I did not need it. I do not need it. It's nice of you, but you do not need to do this. I told you that over and over. And you said, no, this is something I want to do. But you made it after all this, you made it seem like I was just out for a cash grab. That's how you made me look. Do
And
you
I'm
realize
sorry.
that?
I
But do you realize
Yeah.
how you made me look?
I
Do
realize
you
that,
even do you even care how you made me look?
Andrew, it's not that I didn't care, but then with everything that was happening and all the lies that were being said
There
about
weren't lies.
that I had called and I called the facility asking if you were even on hospice. I never spoke to anybody. Never did I ever call anybody to ask if you were on hospice.
But you
So
just
maybe
admitted to
while you
calling
were out
twice.
here having, you were being looked at in a negative light, so
Yeah,
was a lot of other people.
because of what you did.
But as far as being accused of me calling and, then I got accused of me being the one calling to pretending to be your parents. I got accused of the hospice,
How
calling
do
to
you
ask
think
if
it
you were
looks?
on
How
hospice.
do you think it looks? Tell me, how do you think it looks when somebody said they didn't call, but yet then they backtrack and said they called once. Then they backtrack again and said they called the second time.
So as far as
How do you think that looks?
well, like I said,
Why do you think people started questioning that?
but you have to understand, Andrew, when you dropped out of the box, you got off, you sent that message. I like I
18
said,
minutes later,
within that, and we're talking about, and I'm not going to say where you live, um,
everybody
but
knows where I live now.
you live in a
I live
large.
in Greater City of Los Angeles.
Well, I'm not going to say that,
I'll say I live in the greatest city on earth, Los Angeles, California.
but you lived in a big,
It's the
you
biggest
lived in,
city. It's the
yeah,
biggest city around, and
right.
nobody's gonna.
And so for somebody to locate you, find you within 18 minutes of you dropping out of the
Yeah,
box,
because at that time, all my locations were on still.
but I
Once
just
it
know,
says all my posts had my exact facility and everything else.
Hey,
Not
I'm
hard to
getting a
find
lot.
it. Not not hard to
Andrew,
find it when you see the facility and the city.
I'm getting a lot of messages on the back end and all that. I hear all of y'all, but Andrew and her need to have this conversation. So we've got to let it happen.
and and thank you, CJ. I appreciate that. Um, Andrew, I want you to know that
Smash
I
is asleep right now, but Malibu has a bunch of receipts if she could come up.
I think Smashley's in here.
um
Oh, is she in here now?
as far as it goes, um if you're okay with it, I will send you my email. Um, because once I get off of this live, I'm deactivating this account. All my other accounts have been deleted. Um, I even had to find a way to try to restore uh, an email that I had deleted. So I will message you here. I will send you my email address. Um, I will make it right with you for the other people that did donate, Andrew. Um, and
I
then
mean,
you can
to be honest, you made this public. You could have
uh,
had a conversation with me from the very beginning off, yeah, but you dog walked my happy ass
well,
over
and
and
like,
over and over.
right.
So what
And
you can do is
publicly,
you cannot email me on the back end
well,
because that's
I
not
need to
going to
know,
happen.
I need
I
to know
have
what.
unblocked you. I have respectfully. I have a ton of people ask me to unblock you on my Cash App, and against my better judgment, I have out of respect for them because that's what they wanted.
So I'm just going to say that I need you to resend your Cash App if you've got the same Cash App or if you changed
It's
your Cash App.
Dodger 007 Andrew.
Okay. Um, and like I said, I will once this live ends.
He said I will not be doing messages on the back end.
No, as well
I will
as
not be.
I don't know how you want. Like I said, I'm just like I said. I want to be able to um, make it right um, and move forward. Um,
For the last 6 months, I promised myself I would never have a conversation with you after you did me the way you did me.
and fair
In the
enough,
most dirtiest way.
right?
And you're going to do that this week, Shannon, right?
Yes, I have some money coming on Tuesday. Yes,
So by Thursday, everything should be cool, right?
yes.
One question. Why did you come on live to do it? Why didn't you reach out? You know, any of us could have got a hold of Andrew.
Um, well, like I said, there was two things that I wanted to address today. I didn't know if Andrew was going to come in the box. To be honest with
And I
you,
wasn't, but I had respect for a whole lot of people on here.
so
And out of respect, I came in here for them.
that's the reason why, CJ. So,
Because respectfully, I
um,
would have never came in here if you asked me.
um, but like I said, Andrew's got people that said he should come up here. If you wanted to come up here, that's fine. And if you guys don't think that there has not been consequences for my actions, there has been. And if you guys
You
don't
have
think
done,
that I
you have done
haven't,
a lot of, you have done
if
a
you
lot of.
guys, if you guys don't think that I haven't had any repercussions in my own personal life because of it, and that's okay. I understand. I deserve probably everything that's happening, but moving forward for myself and doing what's best for myself, um, I'm respectfully just going to walk away. And
Do you realize you try to get people not to buy my blankets?
I never told nobody to not buy your blankets,
Oh,
Andrew.
yeah, don't excuse, don't, no, 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 no. Don't not backtrack on that one.
So
Yes, you did.
we can,
You
we
even said,
can,
you
we
even said
can
that the three beanies I made you, you were gonna fucking throw in the trash and burn.
actually,
When
actually, I didn't do that, Andrew. Um, I actually donated some stuff and some clothes and stuff, and I ended up, I donated a lot of shit. I didn't burn anything that you sent me. I didn't throw in the trash.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Please don't give me. Just send it to Andrew. Please, please, please. Thank
no,
you.
no, no, I do not need it. You guys are so kind.
Um, I understand
Yeah,
that you
you
didn't want to
did.
talk to me. I understand, Andrew, you didn't want to talk to me. I just know that I will make it right with you. And then you can show everybody. Um, if they need receipts, they want to ask. So that you have
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, I will show a receipt because they are
Okay.
asking, and it was their money, so yes, I will be
Yeah.
showing receipts.
Um, like I said, Tuesday I'll send you half on Tuesday, and then Thursday I'll resend you the remaining amount of that.
Okay,
Um,
I appreciate it.
I'm glad that you're off hospice.
All of it? Is this all of it?
Yeah,
I mean, just
that
because
was a
Smash
miracle.
got the total amount of 770, is there anyone else out there that is sent and you know that money wasn't given? I mean, are we at a total here?
That's what I have. So that's what I have.
I don't know. I was never shown anything, and I didn't know
So,
anything.
like I said, as far as Andrew goes, I didn't show. Um, I never sent him screenshots of my Cash App or of my Venmo. So he doesn't have that. Um, and like I said, I will go and re-add up what I have. Um, but I do believe that is the correct amount. I'm probably going to be sending you more than that, to be honest. So,
You don't.
just to cover all bases. So I'm
Not
going to do it.
necessary.
I'm doing it because I need to do it, and
It's not necessary.
it is necessary.
You don't need to cry. It's fine. Like I said, I've been good with it for a long time because I know the person I am, and I know the person that you tried to make me look. I'm not that person, and thankfully, everybody could see the person who I am. The people that care about me know that I don't have a bad bone in my body. The people that care about me know exactly who I am and not who I was portrayed to be.
Um,
You guys please don't. Thank you so much. You guys are so kind.
um,
Retina wants to know if she can come up.
who?
Retina.
Respectfully, no. I'm going to decline. Um, I'm glad that I got to talk to Andrew. I'm glad that he was able to get things um, and say the things that he wanted to say. I've owed nobody else a conversation. I know that me and him probably should have had this conversation a long time ago. Um,
So why did you? I want to get this out there. Why did you blame Monster from the beginning?
um, I wouldn't say I was more confused, to be honest with
You
you,
were
Andrew,
blaming Monster for
because
the one calling the facility though from the very beginning.
what did you say? Sorry.
From the beginning, you were blaming Monster for calling the facility when she was in fact looking out for me.
Well, as far as the communication goes, because I believe you said that Monster had reached out to you, but I don't know if this was
No,
like
no, no.
before.
What had happened was that I seen a comment and I went into Petty. That's why I was in Petty Live, was to get information because that's the only place I knew she was at. That's what was said.
So as far as me,
But before
I,
that, you had
but
already said. So
as far as with
respectfully,
Monster,
she, I believe she is owed the greatest apology as well
well,
because
I
she
will
did not call.
I don't know who called Andrew.
Exactly, but you don't. Exactly, you don't.
I
But you
don't know.
blame
I
the
don't know
monster.
who called, and I will say whoever called, whoever called that day. What in their right mind made them want to call that day? It never should have happened. None of it. I was just as upset, like I said, when I found out the news, when they called me and said somebody called your facility. I said I was like, what? How? What the fuck? I remember I was fucking upset like nobody's business. I was like, wow, people are really willing to try to locate you. And how they did it and how fast they did it, I don't know.
Yes, we're
I
aware of
just
this, but my question was, why did Monster get blamed for it?
I never blamed Monster. I never said that
Okay,
Monster called the facility.
okay.
I
Well,
never
I'm
said
not gonna
that
get into.
anybody. I
I'm not
couldn't.
gonna. I'm not. I'm
I,
not gonna get into an argument.
well,
But
Andrew,
okay,
and I will say,
no,
Andrew,
it's fine.
what it all boils down to, I don't know if we'll ever know who called. I don't know if anybody will be ballsy enough to admit that they made that call that fucking day.
But there's so many things.
But Shannon,
Respectfully, there's
didn't you
so many
admit
things.
to calling?
There's so
No,
many things that you
CJ,
don't remember. That you
right?
don't remember. You don't remember
CJ,
me tell me to take my cash up out of my bio. You don't remember a lot of things that you said for some reason.
but CJ, I will tell you. I think it was either four, four. I can't remember. I know that Pam may still have it on her phone.
She called the 22nd and the 26th
Right. Um,
of December.
we were
The
just
call
like,
was made
how?
December 18th
Right. We were just like, how? How was somebody able to get a hold of somebody that fast? How was somebody able to locate him? So,
I know all 3 days and all 3 days of all
right.
three
And
calls
I
were made.
knew, and like I said, I knew that Andrew, you know, I then knew after somebody had called his facility where he was at. And so I had asked Pam, I said, I want to try to call to see how fast somebody could call and answer. And so when me and Pam initially called, we didn't get anybody. And it went from this extension, this extension, this extension.
Because you called before business hours.
And
You
so,
called at 6 a.m. and there's nobody at the
right.
front desk.
And then, and I guess, like I said, I can't remember what was happening, what was all transpiring. And then you had talked to Stacky, I believe. And
Yeah, I had a
then,
2 hour conversation
because,
with him.
right, because when you initially told us, you said a nurse had come and told you,
No, I never said a nurse. I said the front desk. Never once did I say the nurse. Never one time. Because it doesn't go to the nurse. So why would the nurse come to me? A nurse never came to me.
but when you had a conversation with Stacky, there was
I
something
was never
I
said
I
a nurse.
don't, Andrew, I don't know exactly from the T. I wasn't on the call. All I know is that there was something that was changed, whatever. It's either near, regardless of everything. Nobody should have ever called, whoever called that day. Nobody
I
should
mean, you were
have
able
called
to get the number, so why do you think that nobody else would be able to get the number if you were able to get the number? Hello.
because I knew then exactly what your exact location was when I knew. Before then, I didn't know. I didn't know what facility you were at. Nobody knew. All that I know is that day, whoever did call that facility, whoever did make that call, Will they ever admit it? I doubt it.
Yeah, apparently not.
None of it should have happened, Andrew. None of it.
Nope, should not have.
Nobody should have called your facility. I was wrong. All of it. How
I
I
should have never
handled
been dog walked either.
it. None of it.
But
None of it.
look here. So we're not gonna get to the bottom of it. We're not. The only thing I was asking for an apology to Monster because she was not the one that called, and you were going around yelling saying that she was the one that called. All I was doing is asking
So
politely for an apology to Monster for that. But since we're not gonna get there, respectfully, I have 17 messages right now asking me to go ahead and drop out. So that's what I'm gonna do.
that's
Have a
fine.
good day.
So
That's
okay.
the
So
Dodger 007 Andrew.
okay.
Dodger as in the Dodgers. 17 messages right now asking me to go ahead and drop out. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's
Have
fine.
a good day.
So
That's
okay.
the
So
Dodger 007 Andrew.
okay.
Dodger as in the Dodgers. 17 messages right now asking me to go ahead and drop out. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's
Have a
fine.
good day.
So
That's
okay.
the
So
Dodger 007 Andrew.
okay.
Dodger as in the Dodgers.
So it you was kind of gaslighting him there a little bit. Didn't like that. That's a conversation that you and him had to have. But you said by Thursday he'll be paid in full, right?
That is correct.
Cool.
So anyway, all right. Like I said, I'm gonna make it right, and that's all I can do. And from this point forward, um, I just want y'all to forget that I exist. And I'm going to be deactivating, not deactivating, I'm going to be actually deleting um, this account. And all my other ones are gone. They're all deleted. I have no backups. I have no sneakies. I'm going to delete this app off my phone. And I'm going to be done. And I'm sorry for everyone that I've hurt. That I've disappointed. I lost a lot of good people. I don't know fault but my own. Um, and that's just something I'm just going to have to live with and deal with. But with that being said, Don't be like me. Be better. And here's your opportunity to say what you need to say about me. So, and but y'all take care. And I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry.